Well, it's June 30th, 2025, and the garden is up, and I got it all weeded today. So Ralph said I couldn't take any pictures until I got the garden all weeded. So a lot of these plants, this first row, or first few rows, is Ralph's winter garlic that he planted last fall. And underneath my white cloth sheets here are broccolis that we actually grew from seed. My sister gave me a gift certificate for $100 worth of garden seed, so we bought a bunch of garden seed and planted a garden, and I'm pretty excited. I've never really had a garden before until we moved here, so this is all kind of new to us, but we're having a lot of fun. We have some volunteer potatoes in places from last year. We probably had some bad potatoes we threw out, and then they've just decided to kind of grow in between places. We've got volunteer tomatoes coming up between some of these rows, and I didn't want to weed them, so. And we have some volunteer peas from last year, so quite a few volunteers sowing up, and that's kind of cool because some of our tomatoes from seeds are looking a little peaked. So this is my little row of turnips. I had to replant those because my first row never came up. My beets, my carrots, my lettuce. I've got another row of lettuce, just a different time. This is spinach that we've already harvested, so I'm hoping that it's going to come back again. We've already blanched and frozen a bunch of bags of spinach. This is another little row of baby spinach planted at a little bit later time. These are all onions that we planted from seed. Ralph grew them in the house, and he put a fan on them and made them sort of resilient to the wind, so they were looking pretty shocked when we first put them in the garden here, but they're coming back around. These are peas, a few rows of peas, our beans, our corn. We've got a couple of different rows of corns put in at different times. So this is watermelon that we've decided to try and plant in between the corn. This is some tomatoes that we grew just, I think, from seed. They're looking a little peaked. They're a little late. We just put them in a couple weeks ago. These are jalapenos growing over here. Those were grown from seed. These are our tomatoes. They're producing tomatoes. They just probably need some water. I don't know. This is our later corn. Ralph really loves corn on the cob, so we have quite a few rows of corn on the cob. Jalapenos that he likes to pickle. And then we've got some potatoes. And over here in the corner is some asparagus that we grew just from seeds. So a little bit of everything, and we're really glad that everything's coming up. It's been a beautiful year for garden. We're finally getting some rain out here, so that's how she looks. We moved all the windbreaks that the horses were not using and used them to windbreak the garden. So that's it in a nutshell. The Painted River Ranch garden, over and out.